Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this live broadcast. Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this live broadcast. My name is Mary Beth Chima. I am the convener of the Parenting Through Mentorship Community and Academy. All right. Welcome to our usual Thursday live broadcast. We call it the Thursday Hangout. Beautiful. I'm streaming live from the capital city of Abuja, and I'm streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're on any of these platforms right now and you're here with me, please say hello. If you're here with me, please say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're joining me from. And yes, let me know your city, where you're joining me from. As I said, I'm streaming from the capital city of Abuja. All right, don't just stay in the background. Please say something in the comments. Let's know we've got company. I'm just going to wait here for a few minutes and see if I have people come up to say they're with me and not just in the background. Say hello. If you're catching a replay, please also let us know that you're catching a replay. And don't just walk away. If you bump in here, then you are in luck. If by chance you bump in here, then you are in luck. Just hang in there and get a full dose of the value that we are sharing today. Okay, so today we are talking about raising, okay, or how we can raise children to understand purpose and impact. Okay, so we want to talk about how we can raise children who would understand purpose and impact. Let me see, just give me a second. Let me send a message on this group. Okay, so we are looking at how we can raise children who can impact their world, who understand that they were created for a reason, they were created for impact, they were created for purpose. Okay, so that's what we are talking or dealing with today. Okay, so I'll just go on and start. Okay, anyway. So if you're with me, please say so. Okay, if you're with me, please say something in the comments. Okay, let us know that you're joining us. Hi, Alheri. I see you. Hey, friend, how are you? Okay, so if you're here, just say you are here. Say something in the comments. Say hello in the comments. Let's know that you are joining us. Okay, now let me start this way. Have you ever tried to think about life, right? Have you ever stopped to think about life from a place of why? Like, have you stopped to think of your life? Like, think about your life. You could be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, or 60s. Have you stopped at any point to think about, this life? What is it about? What is the essence of this life? Why am I even living in the first place? Have you found yourself in that place? Okay, Rick Warren, the author of Purpose Driven Life, actually said that this question, what is my purpose in life, happens to be like one of the oldest question in human existence, one of the oldest questions that human beings have asked themselves at one point or the other. What is my essence? What's my purpose in life? What was I created for? And all of that. Now there's some scholars, there's some scholars, and there's some people who actually think that if you are living an exuberant life, if you're living a fulfilling life, if you're living if you're living in a way that you feel fulfilled, you will probably never have a need to ask the question, what am I existing? Okay, why am I existing? Or what is the essence of my life? Okay, some actually believe that the reason or the time you find people asking this question is usually from a place of pain or place of loss, at some seasons in your life when things are not happening the way you expect them to happen, when nothing seems to be happening in your life, where you could be depressed, or where nothing is just happening, you're not fulfilled, you don't understand the essence of your life. So it's believed that those are the kind of times that you hear people start asking themselves the question, what is the essence of my life? Why am I living? Okay. Now, as parents, right? As parents, do we agree that, if you live a full life, if you live an exuberant life, if you live a life of impact, if you live a life that you are happy with, then there will be less chance for you to ask that depressing question, what am I living for? What is my essence, right? I am one of those parents that actually believes this, okay? I'm one of those parents that believes that if you can find that thing, if you can help your child find that thing in their life that they feel fulfilled in, or if you can guide your children, right, because you will find their purpose for them, right? You will guide them towards that purpose. You will prepare them for their purpose. You will give them a life that allows them search or allow them find the essence of their lives. So if you're able to do that, then your child will find that fulfilling thing. Your child will find that place of fulfillment. Your child will find that thing that he can do, or that thing that he does that gives him a deep sense of satisfaction, such that every time his mind is playing tricks on him, or every time there is a need to try and understand what life is about, your child will be able to get something as an answer for what life is about. Like, your child is able to say, this is the reason why I am alive. This is the reason why I exist. This is the reason I was created for, basically. Right. So if, as parents, we believe, right, as parents, we believe that we have some share, or we have a part to play in the purpose of our children, then the question should be, what is my part, or what is that part that I have to play in the purpose of my, in the life of my child, or in the purpose of my child? So I have said this, more often than not, that as a parent, the best way to look at yourself, or the most humbling way to see yourself, is as a custodian. Okay, if you're able to look at yourself as someone that is a custodian, if you're able to understand early in your parenting journey that you do not own your children. Some parents still have a problem with this. Some parents still have a problem with accepting or seeing it this way, like, I don't own my child. I cannot do with my child as I like. But that is the fact. I mean, do you have to wait till 18? Or do you have to wait? These days, it's not even 18. Do you have to wait till your child is 16, right? Do you have to wait till your child is 16 for you to know that you don't own them? Okay? You don't have to. There is nowhere that is written that you own them until they are 16. Because really, if you really think you own your children, then you should own them for their entire lives, right? If you think you own them, you can do with them as you like. Then go try do with your 25-year-old or your 40-year-old child as you like, isn't it? So if at 50, at 18, at 20, or at 40, you will agree that you don't own this person's life, why is it difficult for you to agree that at 2 days old, you really do not own this person's life? Because in truth, you do not own the child's life. You are just a custodian. You are just that person that is supposed to help them prepare for the purpose that God created them to live. Now, the moment you can understand this as a parent, or the moment you can come to terms with this as a parent, then you're ready to help your child, or you're ready to direct your child towards finding the purpose for which the child was created. All right. If you have children like mine, you would know firsthand that you don't own them. You will know firsthand that you don't own them. The latest question that my daughter asks is not even why anymore. She asks, what's that for? Like, and it can actually, it can actually hit you as a parent if you're not if you're not a very stable, emotionally stable parent, it will come across like you're being challenged, or it will come across as the child is being rude. Okay, she would actually turn to you and ask, but mommy, what is that for? Like, why are you doing that? What's that for? Why are you telling me not to do this? Or why are you telling me not to do that? All right. So I think most of us need to have children like that who can ask us questions like, what is that for? Like, you're brushing their teeth and you mistakenly knock something. Poke them or something like that. And the child turns to you and says to you, come on, what is that for? Or what was that for? And you have to now explain, oh, sorry, that was only a mistake. Meaning the child is simply saying to you, hey, this is me. You don't own me. You can do to me or with me as you like. I am an individual. What's that for? Okay, your dog will ask you what's that for. Like, yeah, you own me. You own me. Your table. The things that you own will not ask you what's that for. So no, your children are not your property. They do not belong to you. Your children, you're actually a custodian. Okay, you're a custodian of your child. So the moment you understand that, okay, hi Raj, it's good to see you. It's been a while. Hello Solomon. Hi Sue, are you here? Good evening. Thank you for joining if you're here. Okay, just say something in the comments if you're with us so that we know that you are with us. All right, so we're going to jump right into some of the things that we need to do. Okay, so what are the things that we need to do? What are the things we need to start teaching our children right now? What are the things we need to start saying to our children? What kind of programming do we need to start, doing with our children so that our children understand that they were created for a purpose and they understand that they were created for more than just the basic things. They need to understand that they were created to impact the world, to change the world, to make a difference in the world. Now, what are you going to say to your child? Or how are you going to say this to your child to make the child believe this? I said in the post that I wrote this morning that some of us will wake up one day and will realize that all that we have taught our children is that they should get an education and they should be rich. We will realize that in everything that we've done, sending them to school from preschool, sending them to school from preschool up to university, even master's level, and some of them will even go out and get doctorates. We will realize that in all of these years, the only training that we have managed to give them is that an education is very important. You need to be really educated to be somebody in this life. You really need to get your education to the highest level. At the back of your mind or at the back of the child's mind, there should be, so, after all the education, you get a first degree, you get a second degree, you get a doctorate, you get all of that. So, right? Okay. So, all right. So I said in that post that some of us will wake up one day and realize the only thing that we have taught our children, the only mindset we've created, okay, for our children is that they were created to have a solid education and to become rich people. Okay, so one day you will wake up and the adult that you have raised is an adult that only thinks that his essence in this life, an adult that only thinks that his assignment in this life is to be so or super educated and then to be rich or rich, not even wealthy per se. Okay, so no, we don't want to wake up one day and realize that all of the message and all that we have done for and with our children, the only thing or the only message that it carries is that they were supposed to be rich and they were supposed to have an education. Life is deeper than just an education. Life is more than just being rich. Life is deeper than that. And then we need to, if our children are going to know this, if our children are going to think of themselves as more, if our children are going to register their feet or their prints in the sands of time, if our children are going to make names for themselves that will outlive them, if our children are going to make a difference in the world, impact the world, be the reason why the world is better, then we need to start teaching them right from the cradle that there is more to them than just a powerful education and riches. Okay, so everything in parenting, the earlier you start, okay, with everything in your parenting, the earlier you start with the mindset you want to create, the earlier you start with the habits that you want to create, the earlier you start with the skills that you want to develop in your children, the better. So yes, it's right from the cradle that you need to start teaching your children about the essence of their life. It's from the cradle that you need to start teaching your children about purpose and impact. And how can you do that? Okay. Number one, you need to let your children know that there is something that their maker, whatever you believe in God like I do. I'm a Christian. So if you believe in God like I do, then you need to teach your child that God, the Almighty God, has created him or her for a purpose that is bigger than her, him, and is bigger than you. You need to teach your children from day one that even you do not know what that purpose is. You need to make them understand that there is something about them that is bigger than you. That's where you are being humble. You're being humble, as a matter of fact, as a parent. Okay, if you can raise your children this way, if you can teach your children this from the word go, right from when they are little babies, if you can teach them this, what you're saying to them in essence is, I don't own you. There is a being that is bigger than me, that that has giving you to me as a responsibility. There is a being that is bigger than me that you owe your life to, that you owe your essence to, so that at every point your child understands that there is someone that he will report to eventually. Your child understands that there is a mighty being that that what you live, how you're able to live your life matters too. So it's not just about mommy ranting all over the place. It's not just about daddy being upset when you're not doing the right thing. It's about God expecting more from you. It's about God wanting more from you. Hi, Raji. It's about God expecting something from you. So if you can raise your children right from when they are young to begin to see this and to believe this, and then it starts right from when you play with them. Okay, it starts when it begins with when you go out and then you show them the sky, or you show them the stars and show them the moon, and then the baby is still very young and you look at that. It's a moon. God created that moon, the same God that created you. It's a moon, and God gave that moon a reason. There is a reason why the moon is there. The moon is there to shine the light for us at night. Okay? Oh, the sun is there. It's because of the sun that we can see. So God created the sun, and God created the sun for a purpose. And the sun is not bigger than you, because just like the sun, you were created for a purpose. So the purpose of the sun is to shine that light in the daytime. The purpose of the moon is to reflect that light at night. The purpose for you is something, and only God will reveal it with you. Reveal it to you as you grow. But you need to want it. You need to want it. You need to search for it. You start saying this to your child right from the cradle. You're saying this to your child when he's 2 months. You're saying this to your child when he's 2 years. You're saying to your child when he's 12 years. You're saying this to your child when he's 20. So yes, when your child is 20, your child is already deeply rooted in the understanding that I was created for something bigger than me. Like the star and the moon, I was created for something. The star's got its function. The moon has got its function. The sun has got its function. In the same way, I have got my function. Okay, so that is the first place to begin with your children, letting them know that they were created for something bigger than you, bigger than them. And then in that thing, it will take some time, but we will find it and all that. Okay, so that's number one thing, and this begins right from the cradle. All right. So number two thing you want to tell your child is you want to let them know that it is their responsibility to find what that purpose is. Okay, so I say to my children, sweetie, I would always be here for you. Okay, I would always be here for you for two reasons. Because that is an assignment that God has given to me. God has given me the assignment to be here for you and to guide you, support you, enable you to find and reach and live the purpose for which He has created you. That is one. That's one of the reasons that that's one of the purposes why I'll always be here for you. The second one is because I love you more than anything in the world. And when you love someone, you honor them and you want the very best for them. Okay, so either way, I am going to be here for you. And these are the reasons why I'm going to be here for you. Because one, it is my assignment. It is my responsibility to be here and to enable you. Number two, it's because I love you. As your mother, Maribeth, I love you so much. And to love someone is actually a verb. It's in what you do for that person. It's in how you do towards that person. It's what you choose to do for that person. And because I love and I honor you, I will always be here, right, to support you. But you see this journey, this purpose journey, it is yours. You would have to find what that purpose that God has created you. Okay, you have to find that purpose by yourself. So you need to start saying these things to your children right from the cradle, right from when your children are little babies. You were created for something great, honey. You were created for something big. You were created for something huge. You were created to impact the world. You bear a solution and that only you can give to this world. So at every point, your child knows that your life or their life is not meant for them to just come and be vagabonds all around the place. At every point, your child knows that his essence is not just to come around and depend on people, take from everybody, be entitled. At every point, your child knows that there is something that he is supposed to give to the world. There is something that he's supposed to give to the next person. There is something. So your child is never entitled. He knows that he was created to do or to give or to create and to be. Okay, so because of that, at every point there is an urgency or there is a need within your child to come to the fullness of that thing that God has created him for. So you will find that child is always searching. That child is always looking out for that thing that is his own. And this will happen only if you can start saying this, or this will happen early if you can start saying this, or you can start, making your child know this and understand that this is part of his essence. Okay, so very, very key that your children understand this. Okay, so tell them that purpose is a personal journey. Okay, write that down if you're there. Purpose is a personal journey. Let your children know that their purpose is a personal journey, and your role as a parent is to enable that purpose. Okay, your role is to enable the child to live that purpose, because the truth is, as parents, if we don't understand our role, and if we are not intentional about our role, we might be the reason why our children do not find their purpose or do not live their purpose. We might stifle their purpose knowingly or unknowingly, directly or indirectly. And that's the truth about it. Okay, some of it, as I said, can even be indirectly. Okay, some of it can be indirectly as a parent because you lack knowledge, as a parent because you don't know how to go about it, as a parent because you have refused to seek for support or to seek for help, as a parent because you have refused to seek knowledge. You just sit down there and you sit on your child's purpose because you have refused, or you're sitting down there and telling yourself every day, I beg you, all these things, do they teach people how to be parents? I beg you, do they teach? They teach people how to rear dogs, isn't it? People go and learn how to rear dogs. People go and learn how to rear snails. I don't even want to tell you how much. I don't want to tell you how much I spent learning how to rear snails. Snails, eh? Snails that crawl, snails that are in the wild, that can do well on their own in the wild, right? I don't want to tell you, I mean, if I can remember before COVID, the amount of money that I spent learning how to rear snails. It's the same way those who have poultry, they spend so much money learning how to rear chicken, right? We spend so much money learning how to rear livestock, what to feed them with, how to treat them, how to hold them, where to hold them, when to do this, when to do that. And we argue every day why we do not need to get knowledge, or why we do not need any kind of schooling, or why we do not need any kind of, expenses or price paid for us to raise human beings. We can spend money to build a business. We can spend money to learn the principles of business. We can spend money to rear snails. We can spend money to rear snakes. We can spend money to do every other thing. But no. We don't need to spend money. We don't need to learn. We don't need to raise a human being that is going to affect the world positively or negatively. So you see why the world, you see why our society, or you see why we have the problems we have in the world. All right? All around. So that's number 2. Let's go. If you are here, please don't just be in the background. Say something. Let me know that I've got company. Let me know that you're watching. Don't just stay in the background. All right. So number 3, we said you spend time preparing yourself for your purpose. Let your children know that they need to spend time. Okay, we need to spend time. We need to work on it. We need to do something. We're not just going to sit down there for your purpose to fall on you. Okay, we're not going to sit down there for your purpose to fall on you. We're not just going to sit down there and then wait for the day that we find your purpose. We're not going to sit down there and you will just know what your purpose is. You will have to prepare yourself. Okay, you will have to prepare yourself for that purpose, because purpose does not exist in isolation. Okay, purpose does not exist in isolation. Purpose is carried by a number of vehicles. A number of things, okay, have to be present for your child to be able to live the purpose for which they were created. And some of those things, one of those things is skills. Okay, skills, character, virtue, all of these things have to be in place for your child to be able to live their purpose. Okay, and that is another very, very important role of the parent. So while your child is trying to find their purpose, or while your child is living every day trying to identify that specific thing that is fulfilling, that particular thing that they do effortlessly, that thing that they do and they want to do for the world, they want to do for the next person, that solution that they have, that solution that they bear, that thing that when they are doing, they are they're out of this world when they're doing it. Okay, it is difficult for other people, but it is easy for them, and they do it gladly, and they can do it for anyone. They can do it anywhere they find themselves, and they can do it well. They do it effortlessly. They're happy. They're living exuberantly when they are doing these things, and then they're able to use this thing to impact the world, to make a difference, all right, to touch lives and all of that. So in the meantime, before they discover this thing, before they can grab it and hold on to it and say, this is that thing, okay, it is your responsibility as a parent to teach your children to be focused, because it takes focus for you to be able to say, this is it. So if your child is all over the place, if your child cannot put their mind on one thing at a time, if your child does not know how to be assertive, your child does not know how to be resilient, how is the child going to be able to find out what their purpose is? The child touches this today, gets bored in 2 minutes, touches that, gets bored in another 2 minutes. Does this well, and then before you know it, all other things are distracting him and all of that. How is this child going to be able to, sit down and focus to say this is that thing. Okay, if your child does not understand empathy, if your child does not understand empathy, doesn't know empathy, doesn't know how to be empathetic, if you have not modeled empathy to this child, if you have not raised this child to be an empathetic person, how is this child going to look beyond himself and begin to think of how to impact the next person, not to talk of the next world, or how to impact some random people in Africa or some random people in Asia that he's got no business with? How is your child going to be able to do that when you've not taught them empathy? If your child does not understand the essence of hard work, your child does not understand why you need to put in more than basics into anything, how is he going to stay there and gain mastery of that thing that he loves? How is he going to hang in there and become better with that thing that comes easily? How is he going to hone that talent? How is he going to sharpen that skill? How is he going to impact the next person with it? How is he going to teach other people? How is he going to reach out to the world if you have not taught the child the value of hard work? If your child does not know how to interact with people, your child does not know how to build social networks, your child does not know how to live in harmony with other people, how is he going to be able to stay there and then work in a team and then work in another team? How is he going to move away from his comfort zone and go to a zone that is go to a zone where he's not familiar and is able to stay there and still make a difference if he is not socially aware? How is your child going to tolerate other people? How is your child going to be able to, stay on his lane, do his thing, and not criticize every other person that is making an effort? If your child does not understand cultural intelligence, your child does not understand that people are different, tolerance, doesn't understand that people are different and we all have our different ideas and all of that, and everybody is good in their own right, how is he going to be able to work in teams? How is he going to be able to collaborate with other people? How is he going to be able to put something? How is he going to be able to take an invention or innovation and create an innovation out of what other people have created? How is he going to build on an existing things that other people have worked on? How is he going to build on it and make it better if he does not understand how to appreciate other people's efforts, does not understand how to tolerate other people, does not understand how to give accolades to other people? So you see, when I say that purpose does not exist in isolation, that's what I'm talking about. There are skills, there are virtues, there are skills, there are virtues, there are values that need to be, that your children need to imbibe, that we need to inculcate in these children. There are things that as parents, only we or only us can actually help our child build this aspect, because these are the things that will actually allow their purpose come to fullness. Okay, if your child has not built character, if your child has not built character, how is the child going to be able to live that purpose and be able to impact the world with that purpose? So yes, your children need to know that purpose does not exist in isolation. There are other things that need to be in place, that are vehicles that will help them, right? That will help to bring their purpose, right, to fruition. That will help to bring their purpose, right, to existence, and then help them live that purpose, and then impact the world with that purpose or that thing that God has created them for. All right? Number 4 is you need to teach your children empathy. I've talked about empathy and all of that, isn't it? Right. So number 4, you need to teach your children that purpose is not focused on self. Purpose is not focused on self, right? Focusing on yourself will never reveal your life's purpose to you. If you focus on yourself, you will never find your life purpose. When you focus on yourself, really, how far can that take you? You're focused on yourself. It means you're only thinking about, what am I going to eat? How do I look? How woke am I? Am I looking? I mean, am I dressed properly? Can they see me? Are they seeing me? Are they hailing me? And all of that. So, yes, this one is very dangerous. This one is very dangerous because our children are living in a generation, or our children are of a generation that is focused on self. Okay, it's a generation that is self-consumed. So as a parent, there is so much to be done. There is so much work you need to do to help your children look beyond themselves, because even the holy books actually implies that you cannot find your purpose in life if you are focused on yourself. Because, hey, how can you impact the world? How can you touch the next life? How can you make a difference in the world if all that you're concerned about is yourself? How much can you do with yourself? So you see, those who are consumed or so focused in themselves, those are the ones that you knew 10 years ago, and then 10 years later, you cannot even recognize them. Because, hey, how much can you focus on yourself? You start with, how do I look? What do I eat, right? It starts with, what do I eat? How do I look? How do I dress? You get at some point to be like, okay, let me add this tattoo here, and then that one, and then this one. Maybe I should pierce. Maybe I should pierce this one. Oh no, it's my gender. Let me take this away. You are focused on yourself. So while you are so focused on yourself, with time you will self-destruct. You will self-destruct with time. So no, your purpose cannot simply be about you. Okay, it's bigger than you, and it's actually even, okay, it's bigger than you, and it's bigger than your small family. So when you see people who are consumed with, oh, how about yourself, and then the next thing, oh, my children, my children, my children, nothing about life concerns you anymore. Nothing about life concerns you anymore. Nothing about what any other person is doing concerns you. I mean, it doesn't even concern you that just a number of kilometers away from you, people are dying. It doesn't concern you that a few kilometers from you, people cannot sleep at night. As far as you're concerned, am I okay? My brother, my daughter, my son, the other daughter, the other son is okay. Wife is okay. Husband is okay. Everything is okay. No, your purpose is bigger than that. It's bigger than you. All right. So let your children know that their purpose, okay? So let your children know that their purpose is actually not focused on self. Your purpose cannot be, if you focus on yourself, you will never find your purpose. Your purpose, if it is not impacting other people, then you have not found that purpose. You've not found your purpose yet. Okay, so I have my son. Our first child is 12 years old, and we've been working with him. We've been working with him since he turned 6. Okay, so we've been working with him since he turned 6, to help him, identify, just basically at every point, we're concerned about him knowing what he's about at every point. Okay, so at every point in his life, there's always that question: what do you like to do right now? How do you feel right now? What do you want to do right now? What is that thing about you? What's that big thing about you right now? What's that thing that means the most to you? Okay, the first time I asked my son that question was when he was 6 going on 7. I actually asked him, what's that thing that you have that you are happy doing? You are cool what you're doing. You feel good about it. What's that thing that you know that this is your thing? And at that time, he told me, oh, mommy, it's science. I love science. I enjoy science. I'm happy when I'm doing science and all of that. So, the next thing I told him, or the next question I asked him was, what do you think you can do with science right now? At 6 going on 7, it was almost 7. What do you think you can do with science right now that can impact another person, that can touch another person, that can bless another person, that can make a difference in the life of another person? Hard one, right? I mean, really, what can you do with science right at that point at 6 years old? I don't want that. So I allowed him. So he came back and he said, oh, well, I can teach my friends. I mean, maybe not in those words, but basically, yeah, probably. So it's like, I can teach my friends. There are some of my friends that really don't know science as much as I know science. I can teach them. I'm like, voila, great, then go. So find that for your friends when you don't understand. After the lesson and all of that, you can ask them, do you understand completely? Do you understand it? And if they don't, teach them. Okay? So we started like that. He will come back and he will say, oh, mommy, I explained to this person about science today. I talked to this one about science today. And I'm like, oh, you can also teach mommy. So he comes home and I'm like, yeah, while we're in the kitchen, I'm like, okay, can you teach me some science and all that? It was that time of BlackBerry. So I'll bring out my BlackBerry and then, small BlackBerry phone. And then I'll make a video of him while he's teaching me science. Okay, so he will teach me science and I'll make a video of him and all of that. And so you know what that did to him? He made him build confidence. Okay, he made him build a rich self-esteem and then confidence, because at the time I was already, I was at a point in my parenting journey where I just realized, okay, I needed to tone down, or I needed to change my discipline style and all of that, because it was already affecting my child negatively. So we needed as much, we needed as many ways to boost that confidence as possible. We needed as many ways to boost his confidence as possible. And at that time, I'd already started seeing some bit of, withdrawal, or some bit of social exemption, that kind of thing. You go to parties, he didn't want to dance, right? He would not dance in parties. He doesn't want to take pictures in parties. He doesn't want to do presentations in school. He just wants to sit down right there with me. So it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a playful, lively child, right? But hey, he didn't want to do that when he was in social gatherings. Okay, that's not what this class is about. But hey, basically that. But so anything really at the time to get him to, feel good about himself and to boost that, the way he felt about himself, or to boost the way he felt really as in about himself, to make him feel worthy and make him feel like, I have something to give to someone. So yes, he started doing that. And then he would make those videos and I would go like, wow, really? And then he would say something about rocks, or say something about the life cycle of a frog. And I'm like, oh, really? Is that what it's called? I can't even remember, and all that. So each time he came excited to teach me, because somewhere in his head, he's going to be teaching me something that I didn't know about. Somewhere in his head, he's going to be reminding me about something that I have forgotten. Because sometimes I say to him, oh, I used to know that, but I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so he came back every day excited to impact somebody. Okay, and when he turned 7, at 8, he started a YouTube channel. Okay, so at 8, he started a YouTube channel, and then he would create those videos and all of that. And then I would say to him, he never knew anything about going to the internet or taking any food to check how many people liked it. He doesn't know that. It still doesn't even mean anything to my son, how many likes he gets, how many shares he did, those things are inconsequential to him right now. And he's 12 already. Okay. So at the time, I would tell him, I'll be like, oh, 20 people liked your video today. Oh, really? Nice. And then I'll say to him, you know what that means? It means that you're waiting for the next video. And then he will go to school, and one of his classmates will say to him, oh, come see, I watched your video. It was really nice. And his teachers will say to him, oh, I saw that video on the life cycle. I saw that video on the respiratory system. Well done, kudos, and all of that. So these things were boosting his, they were boosting his self-esteem. It was making him feel like people needed him. It was making him feel like, oh, I was making an impact in the life of people. Yeah, so we need to teach our children that they do not have to be 35 and 40 before they begin to impact or they begin to give back. Okay, they do not need to be old before they begin to understand that the world needs them, or that there is something that they have that they can give to the world. Yes, I don't want to tell you how much that YouTube channel alone, I don't want to tell you how well it boosted my son's self-esteem. Okay, because we made videos at a time every month. Okay, we made videos at a time every month, and then the week before, the third week, we put, we start talking about the the scripts and all of that. Surprisingly, he doesn't do scripts, don't write scripts. Just talk to him about it. We talk about it 2-3 times. He does a bit of research and boom, he goes. So every time he made the video, even I wasn't completely 100% sure of what he would say or how he would express it. But hey, he owned it and he was expressing it, and people were liking, and people were telling him, I watched your video and all of that. Okay, basically he understood that there is a place of giving back, and he wasn't making a single dime. He doesn't even know. He didn't even know what it meant to make nothing. Did we even care or know that? At the time, that you can make any money from YouTube. No, there was nothing like that. But he was willing and ready to impact, and that's what was important at the time. Okay, I wrote this book, Bedtime Stories for Champions, my first book. Okay, my first book, Bedtime Stories for Champions. That's Bedtime Stories. In Bedtime Stories for Champions, right? All of the children, okay, it's a story, it's a compilation of stories of young people, right, doing amazing things in the world already. Okay, in the compilation, so this is Corey. Corey started selling cookies. Okay, he's an American, so he started selling cookies, and in his neighborhood when he was 6 years old. When he was 6 years old, he started selling cookies. Now, of course, his mother would help him. Cookies and cocoa. He started with cocoa, actually. Hot chocolate, sorry. He started with hot chocolate, and then he added cookies to his hot chocolate and all of that. So his mom will help him. His mom will support him, in doing all of these, and all of that. But in this story, it didn't stop there. Corey is already giving back to to the society. Okay, he's already giving back to the society. So that's what we're talking about. This here is Gabby. So this is Gabby, and then she also is already giving back to the society. All right, right. So this is MasterChef, right? So this is MasterChef Junior, Logan Golev. That's it. Logan is already giving scholarships. He's already giving scholarships. He's already doing so much for his society, for the society. He's already giving back to his community. So no, it is one thing to teach our children to follow their dreams. It is one thing to teach our children that they need to, they need to find, that thing that they feel fulfilled in. It's another to make them understand that whatever that thing is, there is someone that you can impact with it. Whatever that thing is, there's someone whose life you can change, or someone's life, someone whose life you can touch by the thing that you do. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be through monetary value, right? So it's not everything that is carrying children and putting them in your car and driving them to orphanages to go and share their clothes and all of that. Sometimes when you do that orphanage thing, if you don't do it well, you don't know how to step it to your children, it actually doesn't carry any lesson. It just simply tells them that there are people that are less than you. And so when you are tired of your clothes, go and drop your clothes with them, because they are less than you, they don't have. So we need to be careful, to ensure that the message that we want to pass when we take our children in our luxurious cars to orphanages where children are wearing tattered clothes, and because I'm saying this because I've done this. Okay, I've been to the orphanages with children a couple of times, and I come back. I came back the last time we were there. The last time we were there was last year when we did the Children's Day campaign. We took this book. We took 300 copies of this book to low-cost schools and orphanages to give them to these children for free. 300 copies. That's what we did last year. So we took this book, and then of course we went with goodies. It was Children's Day, the period of Children's Day and all of that. We're going to have something like that again this year. Okay, so we took food and all of that. We took food, goodies to them basically, and all that. So when I went with the children to the orphanage, you would see how the kids, I went with not just my children, but there are some of their friends also. So you see the kids sitting down in one place, one end, and then you see the other kids sitting down at the other end, and there's that separation. Is that oh, these are the orphans, these are the non-orphans. Do you understand? Basically, that's if you don't do it right. At some point, we thought about it, and I said, something. Oh, do you guys have a football? they had a football. And I'm like, oh, then I turned to my kids. I turned to the kids I came with. Oh, do you want to play football with the kids? And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So they went out and we had to stay there extra time having the children play football with these other children, just because, I realized there was really no lesson with them coming with their old clothes. They had all their bags with their old clothes, and then we had this food, and the drinks, and they just handed it to them and all. I had to ask myself, what's the lesson really for these children here? So we had to get them to play with the children. So it was only at the point where they started playing together that you could just see that they forgot their difference. They forgot their differences, and they played football like they were playing football with their friends, and they played football like friends. So basically, we need to be sure, we need to understand, or we need to, be sure of the lesson that we're teaching our children when we have them do certain things. Okay? All right, so let's move. Number 5, tell your children that purpose requires focus and intentionality. You cannot leave your purpose. You can't stumble on your purpose. You cannot sit down and your purpose will fall on you. Okay? You need to be focused. You need to find that thing that you are happy, that is your happy place. You need to find that thing that you are great at. You need to find that thing that comes easy for you. You need to think of how you're going to use that thing to impact the world. You need to think of who needs this thing, who needs this solution that I carry, who has a problem that I can give them solution to. Okay? Who needs, who has a problem that I have a solution for? Okay? So it means that you have to be intentional about living out that purpose. You need to focus and find out what that purpose is, and then who needs it, and how you can deliver that purpose, and how you can live that deliberate life that impacts the next person. Okay? So that's it. So you need to let the children know that there is hard work that comes with living the purpose that God has created you for. Okay, you need to be focused on the work. You need to be focused on that thing. It's like the talent. Okay, the story of the talent is a very rich story to use and give your children as an analogy or illustration of what it means to have a purpose, to have talent, or to live the purpose that God has created you for. Okay, tell them about God giving you 5 talents, or God giving you 2 talents, or God giving you 1 talent, and that He doesn't want you to just hold that talent and go to sleep. He doesn't want you to sleep and wake up at 9 o'clock every day as someone that's got talent that people need. He doesn't want you to take that thing that you know how to do so well, better than a lot of people. That thing that comes easily for you, whatever it is. Is it music? Is it healing other people? Is it being very intelligent and smart in school? And then you can use that, right, to learn the things that not everybody can learn. And then through that thing, you're able to create solutions for the world. You can use that knowledge. People struggle with math. You don't struggle with math. It comes easily. So you can take that math and think of what in the world can I do that comes easy for people who know math. Perhaps, I could actually do something in the engineering field. And then you get there and you're like, what can I innovate? What can I create that can solve the problem of the world, that can change the life of the woman in Otukpo, that can change the life of the woman in Mobi, that can change the life of the man in Asaba? What can I do? That is how the people who have changed the world, the people who have created and have given us a world that is easier for us, these are the things that they did. They looked inwardly to the things that they are easy, and then of course they were hard working about it. They invested their lives into it. They made it, and then they are able to impact the world and leave their footprints in the sands of time, and their names have outlived them. That has to be something like what it is that we were created for. We were not created to just come and dance samba in the world and finish dancing and then walk away. I don't think so. So let your children know that you were created to outlive yourself. Okay, you're created for beyond yourself. You were not created to be so focused on yourself. So you can't wake up every morning and the highlight of your day is how well you beautify yourself and how you remain beautified from morning till night. It's a beautiful thing to be beautiful and to make sure that you come out, clean and all of that. But there is more to life than being consumed in yourself. Your children need to know this. Okay? The next one, or the last one, is purpose takes time. Okay, so tell your child it's not going to happen in one day. It will probably happen in 1 week, in 1 month, in 2 years, in 10, in 20. It is your responsibility to stay there, stay focused, stay committed, okay, and be intentional about it. And we will find that purpose. But in the meantime, I would always be here for you. And when you tell your children, I'll always be here for you and I will always be there to support that purpose and help you find, expression with that purpose, make sure that you will be. Make sure that you are equipped. So if you're not equipped, if you're not taking courses, if you're not reading books, if you are not learning, if you're not getting what it takes to equip your child for the times and the seasons of their lives, then you are not being true to your child. So it's not enough to say to your child, I will be here to enable here. I'll be here to support you. I'll be here for you. Every day, I'm here to support you and all of that, and you don't know how. You are failing your child. You fail your child when you don't know how. You fail your child when you're not willing to improve yourself to better your children. You fail yourself. If you're still dealing with emotion, if your emotions are still all over the place and you're not ready to work on it for the sake of your children, you fail them. So when you tell them, I'm here for you, you're not exactly true. You're not exactly being true to that promise that you're making. So if you're going to promise your children, I'm here for you. If you're going to promise your children, I'm here to do everything to support you. If you're going to say to God, Father, you've given me these children, give me the wisdom and all of that, then be ready. Okay? Faith without works is rubbish, isn't it? So be ready. Yes, Father, give me the wisdom. Show me where I need to go to get more knowledge, to know, to learn how to control my emotions, to learn what to do, to learn how to teach them this, to learn how to support them, to learn if I don't know how, I need to be supported. Then, Father, show me who needs to help me, who needs to support me so that I can support my children more. Because, hey, there is always superior knowledge out there. So talking about superior knowledge, we have a program, right? We have a course really that is coming up next week on the 18th. It's called the PEP, the Personalized Education Plan. Now, Personalized Education Plan basically is telling you, it's going to help you with all that I'm talking about here today. So it starts helping your children. We said that purpose does not exist in isolation. You must have prepared them for all of this to be ready to carry that purpose. Your child will not work in a team to create a new invention if he does not have social skills and does not know how to relate to other people, how to appreciate other people. He will not be able to work in a team. It is your responsibility to teach your child how to have those skills. Do you know how to build social skills in your children? If you do not know, then you need to enroll for this program so that we can break down and teach you how to build those social skills every day, every week, every month, and how to follow up until your children begin to exhibit the right social skills. If you do not know how to step down executive function skills, means it becomes a goal. So come to the program so that we can create goals. You can create your goals and we can help you create a plan to actualize that goal in the personalized education plan. So if you have 3 children, it will be different plans for them because you have to work on every one of them as individuals. So that course starts, the early bird for that course actually ends tomorrow, right? It's 7,000 Naira. And it's a course that is worth much more than that because we'll create a plan for you that you can use for the entire year, okay? Because it depends on the areas that you want to work on. So we would create, and then we'll create plans for you to work on each of these areas. So you would have to break it down into every month because you can do everything at a time. Okay, training and raising and building skills in our children takes time. So you need to be consistent, you need to be patient, and then you need to be there every day expecting the best and working with them to reach the best. Okay, to reach, that destination. All right, so you can do that and then enroll for that program. Bedtime Stories for Champions is an amazing book. You want your children to see real examples of people who are impacting the world, staying focused on their purpose, and already giving back to their communities. Then this is the book. And then all the conversations in this book that you can have with your children between the ages of 6 and 13. Amazing, amazing resources. Okay, we're about to print the third set of this book. It's a bestseller. All right, so that's it, parents, for today. Okay, I said we want to stay here for 1 hour. I think we achieved it this week. I'm excited. Okay, have you heard of our Mentor Parent Support Program? So the PAP is a course, but the Mentor Parent Support Program is a termly program. We do it for a whole term, like the way the children go to school in January. We start this program from January through the month of April. So we are with you for all that time. It's a classroom. We open class at 5 every day. Then you come with all the areas of issues that you're working. So we create PPs for you in the Mentor Parent Support Program also. But in this program, you're there with us for 4 whole months. It's a camaraderie, it's a close group, where you come with daily program. We have teachers and parent coaches in that program. All right, so you have problems from the classroom, and we have teachers that can help you with the problems in the classroom. Okay, math, science, whatever it is, just bring it there. We do social skills, emotional skills, everything, under parenting, you can bring to that program, and we will create. We constantly supporting parents with what you can try, strategies and tools and all of that. Okay, so it's a work in progress group kind of thing. It's a complete hand-holding thing, 100%. So you can also join that program if you like to. It's going for 18,000 for a whole 4 months. It's not even half of the money that you pay their lesson teacher for half month, so you don't even go there. All right, so if you'd like to be a part of that program, you can also enroll for that program for 4 straight months, and we will be with you, holding your hands, and then you have a community of parents who are on the same journey with you. Endless solutions you have to everyday parenting programs every day in the group. So thank you very much, everyone who joined me: Solomon, Raji, Harry, everyone who made time to be here, for those who are behind the scene, those who haven't said anything, those that we cannot see. All right, so thank you very much for joining. And if you were catching the replay, let us know you joined the replay. Okay, if you want to be a part of any of these courses, you can just put it in the comments or send us a DM or send us a message. Our number is everywhere in the group. Okay, if you're on YouTube, you can use the number. Just check the comment, the description. You will see our number there, and you can send us a message also. If you want the book, Bedtime Stories for Champions, is just 3,000 naira and contains over 20 stories of people who are impacting the world and doing amazing things, and then chat away reflection questions that you can have, and talk about with your children, and then it's very good for bonding also. So thank you very much, everyone. Once more, my name is Maribel Chima. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your parenting journey. I do not take it for granted. All right, so thank you. We're here only because you were there. Thank you, and have a great, great day and a beautiful weekend starting tomorrow. Bye. All right, bye. Bye.